I know that I've repeated this every day, but honestly, it's getting a bit ridiculous.
Don Lemon and 3 others, Traherne Jean Cruz, Georgia Fort, and Jamel Lydell Lundy, were arrested in connection with a January 18th protest inside City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, where demonstrators confronted a pastor alleged to be an ICE official. The arrests happened weeks after a magistrate judge initially rejected charges, and Lemon was taken into custody while covering the Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. Hear how outraged the community is about this absurd arrest of Mr. Lemon.
This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere, they don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the activists, but we're here just reporting on them. Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there is someone here in Easterwood, someone who is a member of ICE, and he's a pastor of the church.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
So this is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest.
There's a varying array of views in this church on politics of immigration. Recognize the complexity of the issue.
This shows you just how divided America is. When you look at the protesters here, and then you look at the people there who are praying, and you know what was the interesting thing? If these two groups could just get together, they might figure out what to do.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up. I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. They think you lost and this didn't accomplish anything, and you went into their house, the house of the Lord.
The reality is the house of the Lord is a place where love lives. It's not a place where you can have a pastor masquerading as the director for the field office of ICE.
A few moments later.
You tell me. With this administration, you don't know. Look, I'm not naive. I think they're probably going to try again and again, as they did with Tish James and Comey and everyone. If one doesn't work, then they try something else, and that fails, and they try something else, and then they just don't give up because they want to save face. But I don't know what's next. I think what's next is that I have to be in it for the long haul, and and just to be strong as always, and keep calm and carry on.
Because this federal magistrate judge said that they didn't have a case, basically. The Department of Justice said that they didn't have a case. I mean, the judge said the Department of Justice didn't have a case. But you think that it's not over?
No, I think it's not over. Because it doesn't matter if there's no law to fit. They will try to fit or retrofit something or go around a judge and just do it themselves. And it doesn't matter. And everything that they say pertains to protesters. I was not a protester. I was very clear about that. If you look at all the evidence, I'm not a protester. And so I think, Allison, not that I think, I know, I was the biggest name. And so if they get a Don Lemon, woohoo, that's a victory. And also, I'm the one who put the information out there.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Sucker, stop.
Last night, federal agents arrested journalist Don Lemon in Los Angeles after he recently covered protest activities in Minnesota. Once again, the administration is behaving no differently from police states and authoritarian regimes across history. They've arrested a journalist for the crime of doing his job. And let's be very clear. This arrest is not just about one journalist in one incident. The arrest is a dark message to journalists everywhere. If you dare criticize this administration, watch your back. That's not a democracy. That's a police state. And that is pure authoritarian bile. Democracy will suffer if the government chokes our civil liberties. Under this administration, the Department of Justice has all too often become the Department of Vengeance. Don Lemon should be released at once, and the frivolous charges against him dropped.
This morning, as soon as we were learning that Lemon was arrested, thanks to Lisa, especially in her reporting, as soon as that happened, we were hearing from sources saying that career prosecutors in Minnesota who have been really devastated and turning away from many of the cases that they're being pushed to prosecute involving detaining immigrants or even in the church protests, that those Minnesota prosecutors and LA prosecutors in the career bench were resisting having any involvement in this case. And the reason we were told by two sources was that the facts didn't line up. The evidence didn't line up with the two charges under, 241 and 248. No implication of a threat of violence, no implication of obstruction, no implication of actual violence or force. And these are required for at least 1.5 of those charges. So this was problematic for career prosecutors right all the way along. And a magistrate judge has also, we reported earlier this week, a magistrate judge rejected as lacking probable cause one of these charges against another protester for lack of evidence of physical force or the threat of force. So it's a big problem. I will say one more thing, Katie, if you can give me this little moment, which is Pam Bondi's videotaped tweet. Her video explaining and announcing what was happening is so intriguing, right? She's saying, I'm going to come for you if you interrupt people's ability to worship. But I'm not going to come for you. My department has decided we are not going to investigate you if you're a federal ICE officer or Border Patrol agent and you use excessive force or appear to use excessive force on video that we all can see and kill an American citizen.
This is a state of emergency, and I'm wondering where our leadership is. Where is Governor Walz? Where is Mayor Fry? Where are all of our representatives? And if you want to run for office and you're not standing with community, you don't have a shot. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of standing up here. And Georgia is a wife. She is a mother. She's a business owner. She's a journalist. She should not be in jail right now. And everybody should be outraged about that. This does not make any sense. This is real trauma. This is not a joke. Trump, this is not a show. This is not a game. This is people's real life. And I want everybody. The world is watching Minnesota once again. Once again, we're under the microscope because we're not being protected and we can't get it right. And it's not on the community. And nothing's burnt to the ground. Y'all always making excuses. Y'all want to act like this is us against them. No, we're under attack. And the people have not even begun to fight back. We can't even record. We can't even stand. We can't even live. People can't leave their houses. People are losing their jobs. People are afraid. And Georgia had the courage to record it. And now she's arrested. Where is our constitutional rights? We are under attack, and you all better wake up before it's too late to wake up. It's not a joke. It's not a drill. When journalists are getting arrested, you all better be afraid.
Thanks for watching, family. Moments like this remind us why people are tired. Tired of the injustice. Tired of the intimidation. Tired of the systems that silence instead of listen. We're not here to spread fear. We're here to stand with the people who refuse to accept what's wrong as normal. Stay aware, stay vocal, and stay human. Because when we stand together, they can't ignore us. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, your support helped me to help my community.